All right, good morning, guys. Well, at least it's morning here in Southern California. This is the 2020 Mercedes-AMG E63 S 4MATIC Plus wagon, and I really hope I don't have that in the background this whole time. I know a couple of you commented that the volume's kind of low in these live videos. I'm sorry, it's kind of like my current audio situation is what it is. But we're going to do the best that we can. I don't have another guest like last week. So hopefully it'll just be Christina and myself, and Christina's going to speak up with her questions. And first off, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. You'll get access to daily videos with cars just like this one. And if you want to support the channel, I've got a Patreon account, or you could get a MilesPerHr t-shirt. But with all that said, we've got a lot of questions about this car, and we're kind of running a limited time schedule here. Christina and I have a birthday to get to. So Christina, what is the first question?
We're gonna fire it away. How fast can it go from Grandma Sharded herself?
I love that. Grandma Sharded herself asked a great
sad.
question earlier this week. I know it's terrible. What is incontinence? Is that the?
Yeah, but
Okay,
no,
sorry.
no, that's wrong.
That's wrong. Okay.
No, IBS would be for that.
IBS. Okay.
Incontinence means you can't pee.
Okay. This is a car show, so I apologize for getting off track. But Grandma Sharded herself asked how fast can it go, and the answer to that is 0 to 60 is about 3.2 seconds. Independent sources like Car and Driver have seen even faster, as low as 2.9 seconds, which is wild for something weighing 4,600 pounds. The top speed is 180 miles an hour. Again, pretty wild for a wagon. And the quarter mile time is like just over 11 seconds, like 11.2 seconds. So that is your answer to that question. What is the next one, Christina? Let's work our way around the car.
Because we have that leaf blower.
Yeah, but the mic is facing this direction, so we want to be with that in the background.
Does it have a rear-facing third row from Will Long?
Will asked about a rear-facing third row, which is sometimes, at least on older wagons, was something that was offered. It was like seats that would come down, and in old Mercedes wagons as well, like seats that would come down would face this direction. This does not clearly have that. It does have a good amount of cargo space, and these seats fold down with the press of a button like this. I pressed it the wrong way, so oops. And then you've got, a mile of cargo space. Should be able to fit surfboards or whatever else you have in there. Well, shorter surfboards. What is the next question? And these are all, by the way, these are from Instagram, where you can follow me at MilesPerHr, just like the name of the channel, and then YouTube's community. So we're getting to those first before we get to the live questions on YouTube, unless you do a contribution and then those come up first.
Okay, does it feel heavy on a twisty road, or can it manage its weight? From Hayden Cook.
That's a good question, and both Hayden and Blake Swan kind of asked this question, and it's a great question because it is 4,600 pounds, it is long, and it's just carrying a lot of weight into corners. And even though it has all-wheel drive, which does make a huge difference in the corners, you can't get around how heavy it is. So you do feel the weight in corners, but you also feel confidence because of this 4MATIC all-wheel drive system. It's really good at putting the power where it needs to, and the suspension is taut, perhaps a little too taut. As I found while driving it, it's a little rough on some roads, but I feel like you feel the weight, but you also feel very confident in corners. Next question. I don't know whether to wear these or not, because it's bright, but it's also, we'll figure it out.
Is it playful to drive? Does it feel rear wheel drive or all-wheel drive in turns? From Blake Swan.
Yeah, Blake asked that question, and yeah, it's very similar to Hayden's in that, like, how does it feel to drive, especially in corners? Does it feel lively, playful, I believe was his word. And yes, it feels playful, but it also definitely feels all-wheel drive. It doesn't feel rear-wheel drive, because the only way you can get it to act like a rear-wheel drive car, granted it's probably rear-wheel drive biased, in corners, but those front wheels have, they're getting power and they have grip at all times, so it feels like an all-wheel driving car in corners. The only way to get it fully rear-wheel drive is to put on drift mode, and the way you do that is like a 5-step process. And if someone asked that question, I could go into how you turn it on drift mode, but it's it's a long process. But then you can fully make this rear-wheel drive if you want, and you can pull power slides and drifts and things of that like. But yes, it's playful. It definitely feels all-wheel drive, not rear-wheel drive.
Okay. If you could buy one Mercedes, would it be this? From Luke.
Yeah. Yes. The short answer is yes. I love this car, and I love the blend of practicality and performance. I love the look. I love that it's unique out there. There are a million SUVs on the road, but so few wagons, and even fewer wagons that carry 603 horsepower at their disposal. So I think this is...
How much horsepower?
603.
603.
Yeah. I don't know why I said yeah after that. This is a very potent performance vehicle, but it's also practical, family friendly. As Hayden has pointed out, it would be an incredible daily driver. So it's probably my a nice bit of bird poop right here. That's good. On the steel blue paint color, someone else asked about the paint color at some point. I think it's my favorite Mercedes-AMG vehicle because while the GLS is awesome, the GL E63 is also awesome. This is full on a low slung vehicle. Those others are really having to fight physics to bring down their center of gravity. The center of gravity is low, the look is good, the performance is there. This is my favorite. Great question.
Okay, you get a compliment in this one. First off, keep up the hard work. This is destined for success.
Oh, thank you.
And second, is it slower compared to the GTS 63 from Tyler Broughton?
Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm working hard and will continue to work hard and get you the daily videos. To answer your question, you're probably asking about the AMG GT 4-door, and this is a touch slower than that car, although the 0 to 60 sprints are very similar. I think Mercedes-AMG quotes like 3.2 seconds or 3.3 seconds for the AMG GT 4-door S, 63 S. Gosh, there's so many letters and numbers there. They quote a 3.2 second to 60 time. This one is pretty much quoted the same, and independent sources have seen them pretty much the same, though that car, the GT 4-door, does 195 miles an hour all out. This is 180, so there's your delta. It's 15 miles an hour difference at the top end, but from a dig from 0 to 60, they're going to be about dead equal, which is incredible.
When are you going to go that fast?
195?
Yeah.
If you live on the German Autobahn.
Yeah, well, we don't.
Which I get complaints about all the time. Why don't you have a German Autobahn? Because I live in America. So that's the reality.
Okay, how does it sound compared to previous generation E63 S from Radu Mastada?
Well, let's hear what it sounds like.
It's a cool name.
Yeah. Covering her ears in the rearview mirror, so that's always a good sign that the car sounds good. I'm sorry, Christina.
Well, it does, but those pops were loud.
The pops are
I
loud.
don't want to stand
The
there.
overrun is loud, so it's just dumping a bit of extra fuel
It's
into
like a
the exhaust
boat
chambers.
sound at times. It's like boop, 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 like gurgling.
Christine, you got to speak up for those comments because that's a good one.
It has a boat sound.
A boat
It's
sound.
Like gurgling.
That's an interesting observation. I would have to agree with that. Yes. Yeah, it has a bit of a boat idle. Some boat engines can sound like that. Yes, but it sounds very, very good compared to the previous generation. So the previous generation was using what, a 6.3 liter or maybe a 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8. NA V8s really sound the best always, but this one they have amplified the exhaust note. Clearly not artificial. I mean, artificial in that they're throwing extra fuel down for the extra bangs and pops. I would say the non-overrun sound, the previous generation sounded better. The overrun sound, this one sounds better, if that makes any sense. Great question.
Sure.
Sure, says Christina.
Okay, what do you think of the steering wheel? Ugly and fat or functional and beautiful from Prathamesh Papascar?
I loved this question, Prathamesh, because it's not something I typically, well, I do think about steering wheels when I get into a car and I go, wow, that steering wheel. But this one, I guess because I've driven a number of Mercedes-AMG vehicles, I didn't really think about. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, you know what? It's a bit on the fat side.
Oh yeah, that's chunky.
Yeah, I mean chunky here with, I mean a thicker diameter or thicker steering wheel rim is good so that you have something to grip onto. And I like the Alcantara on the inserts. While there's leather on the top and bottom, it's got a flat bottom to it. So the shape is good, but there's a lot going on here, which is fine. Some steering wheels try to put as many things on them as possible so you don't have to hunt elsewhere in the car. You can just leave your hands on here and adjust the drive mode over here. You can adjust the exhaust and the suspension. These ones feel like a little redundant. I'm not going to, on a daily basis, be needing to adjust the suspension independent from my drive mode. The drive mode's already going to recalibrate the suspension. And I guess the exhaust button, there's already an exhaust button here. So having to hit it again on the steering wheel, it feels like a bit cluttered, feels a little fat. I think if you stripped away perhaps even these two things here, it would look cleaner because you've got this brush metal look for the AMG and for this, and then you've got the brush metal paddles back here, which aren't that big, by the way. They're okay size. They're not the smallest paddles I've ever seen, but they're not, you know, big meaty things.
What are these for?
This is for the drive mode selector. So you've got a bunch of different drive modes. You have comfort, individual, sport, sport plus, and race. And then you've got a slippery mode for winter driving conditions. But good question, Prathamesh, appreciate it. And you have me thinking about it a bit more. There are, by the way, there are a couple questions that people have been asking about my styling taste or how do I think about how it looks and all that. I'm gonna save all that for the review, which there will be a review with this car not this coming Monday, the Monday after this coming Monday. So I will reserve my judgment for that review, which you definitely should watch.
Okay, how much difference does ESP make on or off from Soheil?
Okay, great question, Soheil. So the ESP, some automakers call it ESC, Electronic Stability Control. Mercedes-AMG calls it Electronic Stability Program, I believe. And it makes a difference, especially as a component of turning this car into a rear-wheel drive vehicle instead of all-wheel drive. So the ESP is down here. You can press it once, and that will put it in ESP Sport. And ESP Sport cuts out a few of the nannies and makes it more rear drive bias. So not completely, but more rear drive bias. I put it in that one quite often because I like, as Blake pointed out, the play that comes with having it be rear wheel drive bias. And then if you pull it completely, press it, hold it completely, along with putting it in race mode and then pulling the paddles together. I'll just do this, why not? So you put it in race mode, ESP is off completely, and you have to put the drivetrain in manual, so you press that button. Then you pull these two paddles together, then it gives you a prompt, paddle up for drift mode. Now drift mode is active, and now the car is rear wheel drive. The front wheels are not intervening at all. I'm just gonna rev it, just because I want to. Oh, that was loud. It stops me at 4,000 RPM, by the way, so that you're not hearing 6,500, 6,800 RPM. That's 4,500. What's our next question?
Can you turn on the AC?
Okay, that's from Christina.
So hot. Okay.
Yeah, you are. Sorry.
How's the ride quality on rough roads from Dan Raj 23 full?
Great question. I find that and this is one of the things they changed for 2021. So, yes, I got the 2020 model, and they do facelift it for 2021. They update the front fascia to be more in line with the latest AMG models. It's got the Panamericana grille, it's got updated headlights, It has the latest MBUX infotainment system, which I think that's the one thing I'm really missing from this car. I wish it had the latest MBUX system. It has Command, which is the outdated infotainment, and Command sucks. I don't know how else to put it. I really don't like Command, but MBUX, however, does a complete 180, and it's one of the best infotainments out there. That's really one of the things I'm missing on the 2020 compared to the 2021. I'm getting sidetracked. All right, the suspension tuning is also different for 2021 versus 2020. I wish I had a chance to feel that, because this suspension, even on comfort mode, is a bit on the firm side. I wish it was more supple on rougher roads, you know, speed bumps, going over off a curb lip, things like that. I wish it was a bit softer. So the 2021, I would love to know if that's more supple. I imagine it's one of the things they changed because they got some feedback on that.
Right. Emotion start, question mark, from Dean Carfora.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what this meant.
I also saw that in the chat.
I get emotional when I start the car, if that's what you mean.
Let's see.
Because it sounds...
Tears. Oh, no
Well, the
tears.
car's already... Yeah.
What kind of emotion?
Just joy. Just pure joy.
Wow, you really show it well.
I mean, this isn't... The car's already started, but
You really show it.
Thank you. I am so emotional right now. Sorry, I feel we gotta like keep going, so I'm just
Okay,
a little
we're going.
loud. Okay. Take it out of manual mode.
Price from David Leader.
Price. This one starts at $112,000. This one, as tested, has 50 grand in options, so it's $161,000. I would choose some of those options, not all of them. My favorite kind of as spec would be around 130, I think. I could leave out some of those things. I love this paint color though. I would keep the paint color. Steel blue, it's a winner.
Okay, 0 to 60 you've said, right?
Yep,
Okay.
3.2, 3.0, as some independent sources show.
And is it practical from Mercedes-Benz?
Yes, look behind me. Very, very practical.
Well, the seats are down.
Seats are down, but I mean, even with the rear seats up,
There's
I
space.
cannot remember the cubic footage on top of my head. I think it's 35 cubic feet and 64. I'd be impressed if I remember that, because I only saw it once 2 days ago. But yeah, it's got plenty of storage space. The one thing it misses out compared to an SUV is the height. So you have to load long things, not tall.
Oh, not that height. You're fine. You have some height up above.
I've got some head clearance, 6 feet tall. I've got some head space, but I meant for larger items in the cargo space.
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on.
Color from K Money. You already said the color. Blue.
Steel blue.
No, steel blue. I was gonna say blue,
Blue steel. That would be.
Give us a look.
That
Oh.
would be. Does anyone get the reference?
I'm sure they would, but do
Zoolander?
you have to have that face while you drive?
Zoolander? Yeah, I
That
just want
look
to show
up.
the paint color again.
Oh, okay.
Yes. While you were driving, great question. While you were driving the blue steel version of the E63 S Wagon, you need to have the blue steel face. It actually hurts the face after a while if you just, the whole time, if you've got that going, it's not good.
But it's steel blue, not blue steel.
Yeah. This is an independent question, but equally as important as any other question. Did my barber screw up my haircut?
Did someone
Do I
ask
look
that?
a little pinhead?
You do.
I look. Christina says I look pinhead.
When
No,
you
I'm just
came
kidding.
home-
Austin, my barber, does a great job. I just think
does.
this time I went a little too high.
Yeah, he
So-
came home and I was like, whoa.
I've got a pinhead look going on right now.
What happened?
That's how Christina greets you, by the way. It's like, oh, welcome up. Oh, what happened?
You've said that to me before.
I have.
Okay. MPG
MPG, good
from
question.
Matthew Piscalco.
Now, it's a good question because while this car is expensive, it's not, I mean, it's not in the supercar tier. I mean, it's getting there, 160,000. All right, corrected myself. It's getting there, but it's not to the point where someone doesn't actually maybe still think about fuel economy on a car like this. So it's not great. It's 16 city, 22 highways, 18 combined. 18 combined is going to get rough after a while. I did a bit of driving yesterday and I saw a quarter tank go down. It was enthusiastic driving, but it was driving.
Does the interior trim creak? From Aaron DeSouza.
Oh, interesting. Well, that's a good question. Let's find out. Back in you go, Christina. All right, well, I'm gonna have to take it out of race mode so it it's not as strong and idle. Now let's start pressing on some things. I'm gonna have to turn on the air for just a second, Christina. Okay.
Oh, turn it off?
Yeah,
so
just for a
turn it
second.
on.
Okay, that's not what placed the little creak. That's actually gonna come up. Okay, no real creaks there. Ooh. Is anyone here? Ooh, that's a strong creak. I'm getting a strong creak over here. This is carbon fiber, and so there's not really any give to it. So that's one thing to note. Ooh, that was a really strong creak there. Ooh. Okay, so it's got some creaks. That is the carbon fiber elements, though. I mean, let's elsewhere. Oh, I pressed the button. There's some creaks going on here. That was a really interesting question.
Yeah, but is this while you drive, or is this?
Yeah, I mean, okay. So let's clarify.
Sit there and press things.
That's great. Great point, Christina. I would do that, but that's just because I'm weird. But
OCD.
I think while you're driving, the things you touch don't really creak. If you're sitting here and you're like, yes, it will make some creaks, but
it probably creaks once and then it's done.
Yeah.
So you pushed it.
Yep, I pushed it. It creaked, and then we moved on. So. Yes, it creaks, but not in any sort of disconcerting way. I think the build quality's there, and back up goes the air conditioning because it's hot.
All right, now I'm getting into the YouTube questions.
Perfect.
Comments.
Oh. Okay.
All right.
We'll
Hi,
be answered.
everyone. Thank you for joining.
Yes, thank you for joining, guys. Sorry it took so long to get to you guys. We had a lot of good questions.
Andrew Parker, thanks for joining every week.
Thank you.
Oh, hello from Uzbekistan. Okay.
Oh, wow. That's some new countries every time.
Hi, everyone talks about this car being the all-around best car. Do you agree? From Harsh Road Tree.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, best car on sale? Probably not. But best car from Mercedes-AMG? Yes, I would say it is the best car from Mercedes-AMG for the blend of practicality. The look is so unique. Yeah, just having uniqueness of offering on the road. I saw one of these yesterday and I was shocked because I see them maybe once every 6 months. So this is a unique car, powerful, so fast, and I think it looks good.
About 5 minutes.
Okay, drive around for about 5 minutes. Start the timer, guys. We've got about 5 minutes.
From Nights, nice videos, man. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. I will do so.
I just say thank you for you. Anon, you already got to the 0 to 60 time. We're gonna skip that. Horsepower, you already got to.
Yeah, I didn't show the engine. I'm sorry. It is a 4-liter twin-turbo V8. If you've watched any of my other videos with Mercedes-AMG products, it's that same engine. So not showing the engine, just watch any of those videos. And also the walk-around for this car it's not up yet. It will be up, but it's going to show the engine in detail. Yeah, like I said, 4-liter bi-turbo V8, 603 horsepower, 627 pound-feet of torque. Let me go to Sport Plus.
Okay, wait. Not yet.
Can I punch it?
Go.
I'm on a straightaway. Dude, it is vicious.
It's really smooth, though.
It's super. I mean, apart from you can feel the undulations on the road.
Well,
the suspension is taut.
Seat, though. I'm fine with
the suspension is taut. It does have massaging front seats, by the way.
God.
This one has the optional massage. It has 50 grand in options.
For 160,000.
Well, yeah, for the 50 grand and additional extras, yes, it should have massaging seats. But how good did that sound? I don't know what it is. It got upset because I touched the center.
Okay, let me get back to the chat.
Well, I'm also going to definitely do launch control this light. But
which car do you own from Dio Brando? None of these. None of these.
I have a 94 Toyota Land Cruiser, and Christina has, well, we share it, 2013 Toyota RAV4. I guess we're a Toyota family, mostly just because I drive all the extra exciting stuff. Okay, so I'm doing launch control. Oh, I didn't actually do it right.
You didn't do it.
I didn't have it in race mode, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't have it in race mode. That was my mistake.
You're too busy chatting.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Sport handling. There's a dog in this car next to me, and just didn't seem interested at all.
Is it as stiff as the 2018 from Timothy Hung Ming Choi?
Yes, because they didn't change the suspension between 2018 to 2020. 2021, they update the suspension, and I imagine that one will be less firm.
Okay, this is an interesting question from Dean Carfora, the same guy who asked about the motion start, who clarified what that was later. I have to look. Without putting it in race mode before you start it, what happens if you just immediately start the car and hold one of the paddles without putting it in an auxiliary mode?
Nothing happens. As far as I know, nothing happens. It definitely doesn't go into drift mode. You have to do that like 5-step process to go into drift mode. But starting it and just holding a paddle, I don't think anything happens. I mean, I'm in motion right now, so I can't confirm that, but I don't think it goes into drift mode, that's for sure.
Do you prefer this to the BMW M5 and Audi RS6?
Well, so interestingly, this car doesn't really have competition on the market right now. Finally, the RS6 Avant is coming to the US, but that'll be later this year, maybe even early 2021. So until that comes, this car doesn't really have competition. The sedan version of the car, yes, like you said, the M5 competition and the, well, Audi R6, again, we don't have it yet. But when the R6 comes out, this is going to be very close to that car. The one thing, the kicker for this car, is that it will have that rear-wheel drive version mode, with drift mode, whereas the R6 will not. It will be permanently all-wheel drive. You can't change that. So if you want some antics, some tail-out antics, you'd want this. But yeah, well, more competition stuff I will discuss in the actual review. Okay, any further questions? Because I'm gonna flip it around and do a quick poll. And that's gonna be that for this video. So we're gonna keep it kind of short.
Whoa.
Sounds pretty good, right?
Yeah, sounds great. Okay, hi, my name is Kyle. I'm totally blind. Okay, thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank you.
Even though
You
Hope
can
you
hear
can
how
hear
good
it.
it sounds, that's for sure.
he did say he's hearing impaired as well. Okay. So hopefully he says he's enjoying it though.
Thank you, Kyle. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thanks for being part of the channel.
Do you like the gearbox selector? Greetings from Argentina from Americana HD.
So, I mean, the gear selector, unlike many other vehicles, is up here on the stock. I guess it's like older trucks, but it becomes very intuitive, so it doesn't really bother me. If you drive this car more than a day, you're just going to naturally go up here. And in fact, when I get out of this car and going into other cars, I'm thinking, why is the gear selector not here? Because I'm reaching down here, or I'm reaching up here, and I should be reaching down there. So it does become intuitive. I don't mind it. I don't love it, because it's like one more thing, and this steering wheel has a lot going on. It's like one more thing coming off the steering rack. But yeah, I don't know. I don't mind it. Is my answer to that question. That was not helpful. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We're gonna get a launch at this light when the light goes.
Which is more comfortable, BMW M cars or Mercedes-AMG models?
Oh gosh, it's tough. The latest AMG vehicles I've driven have been a touch too firm for my liking, and that leads me to the BMW vehicles. But I mean, in general, they're very close. Very, very close. I'm going to say right now, the suspension tuning of BMWs errs a touch more on the more daily driving comfort, whereas this one, especially this car right here, is a touch too firm. A bridge too far, a touch too firm.
Are you doing a launch mode on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I will. Any other questions that I can answer before launch mode? If not, thank you for watching, guys, and this launch mode is going to take us out here. We will do the launch, and then
okay, so I guess a motion start is a little trick people do. You just pull back on one of the paddle shifters before pressing the start button. It makes the startup crackle louder.
Interesting. That I did not know. I did not know that.
Are you in launch?
Now I am. Woo! Guys, that is bonkers.
Yeah, my head flew back.
That is actually insane. Wow. I believe 3 seconds flat. I believe 3 seconds flat. That was as quick as supercars. Oh boy, that's exciting. That's an emotion start right there. But no, interesting. I didn't actually realize emotion start was a thing. I will try that next time I have the car stationary and I'm starting it up. Unfortunately, I cannot do it in this video, but sorry that I didn't understand that.
Okay. I'm just gonna wrap it up with a few.
Okay.
Drift mode. We've already shown the rev, or we've already listened to the revs.
Yep.
How many cheese can I fit in the boot?
How many what?
That's what it says from Joe. How many cheese can I fit in the boot?
Well, that's particularly funny to me because I had a friend in college named Peter Chi, and so I'm picturing Peter and how many of Peter's
Cheese, not cheese.
Oh, cheese.
Not cheese.
Oh, that was good.
Okay.
Cheese, like, wouldn't it be cheeses? And the plural of cheese be?
No. You don't say, can I have some cheeses?
Yes.
Cheese is, no.
Yes. Well, I mean, you
Cheese.
say, can I have some cheese if you're talking about a singular. This is getting really into
No,
the weeds,
you
guys.
don't.
You do. May I have cheeses? Which 3 cheeses would be 3 cheeses?
Oh my gosh, okay, fine. I don't know if okay.
I'm a writer.
Yeah, I'm a teacher, but I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm a teacher.
How many? I'm a teacher.
Yeah, I'm a teacher.
Okay, moving on from the cheese question.
Uh-huh.
Okay, a lot of people had questions about the cheese thing. It makes the car smell gross.
Yeah.
Why would you ask that?
Yeah.
Okay. If you
I love that started something.
All right, there's a lot of threads happening about the cheese question.
Good.
Okay, I'm
These
gonna
are the
skip
important
this.
issues, guys.
Oh, thanks, Kyle. He likes the sound of my voice. Thank you. Okay. Basically, okay. All right, we're getting some weird comments.
Okay.
Thank
That
you.
usually is.
Miles, you're so wrong. Plural for cheese is cheese.
I mean, cheeses.
You don't say what cheeses do you want. 3 cheeses? They don't say 3 cheeses pizza.
That's true. I guess
Can
I'm
I
wrong.
have a 3 cheeses
Wow,
pizza?
yeah, I really screwed that up, guys.
I'm a writer, so he said.
Yeah, now you're
we
gonna
have it on video.
Now don't second guess everything that I say now, because
Everyone, remember, the wife is always right.
Yeah, that's true. The wife is always right, and I should have known that in this case. But yeah, I got that wrong.
Last question from Harsh Shropshire. Would you rather the car in trim or another wooden one?
The carbon fiber trim. I think
yeah.
for this particular color, I think. Oh man, I don't know. Wood. Something with an open pore wood with this color would actually be fantastic.
You love wood.
So
every time
I
you
prefer
choose
that.
wood.
I prefer that. All right, guys.
All right.
We're wrapping it up here. Thank you for watching, and this was an important conversation on the plural of cheese, plural form of cheese, and that's going to do it for us. Watch the review, watch the walk around, watch the POV drive for this one, and have a great weekend. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.